top, baby. Come on, we gon' reach the top. Reach the top, yeah. Reach the top, yeah. With the gift, reach the top, yeah. Reach the top, yeah. With
Me, my Sanders.
come on, we don't stop, we don't stop. We just tryna reach the top, 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 reach the top.
Hey, Cruzer, what's up?
What's going on with y'all, man? How y'all doing?
We
Doing
are.
good, doing good. Finally, we get to sit down, man.
Right, man. Definitely, man. Long time coming.
Definitely,
right.
definitely. I hear your accent. Where you originated, like originally from?
I'm from Georgia.
From Georgia. Okay. I got family out there in Georgia. That's
What
what's
part?
up.
Decatur.
Yeah, she know more than me.
Decatur, Buckhead, different parts.
I feel
Downtown Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta.
I feel that. I know a few people out in Decatur and everything too. But I was born in Columbus, but I moved to Atlanta when I was like 12 and stuff. So
Okay. And how is it where you from right now? Where you at? Where you residing?
I'm residing in Oregon right now. It's a different climate, man. For real.
Okay.
A lot
We're
slower.
gonna touch a little bit more into that.
All
We're
right.
gonna touch a little bit more into that. We're gonna try to wait till, we want everybody to know your story.
For sure, man. I'm definitely excited for it, man. I definitely appreciate y'all, man, for real.
No problem, bro. No problem, bro. I like your shirt, man. When did you start the merch?
I started the merch. Honestly, I just started the merch pretty recently, like August, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm still figuring stuff out though. I got there's only 2 of these, and what's crazy is I actually made it from a dude out here, and he said this is an accidental shirt, like, and I was like,
But it came out nice.
Thank you, man. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
No problem. So we're gonna get into that a little later, so you can tell the people where they can find that
Gotcha,
as well. Definitely. It's 7 o'clock.
Sure,
Yeah, we can get started, and then everybody can, start making their way in.
yes, sir.
All right. I am your host, The Gift, and
I'm Me, my Sanders.
tonight we with a special guest. Who are we with? Tell them. Let the people know.
My name is Cruzer Urameshi, man. Music producer and a radio host, man. Pleasure to be on here, man. I really appreciate this a lot.
No problem. You say you're a radio host. You can plug in your radio station.
Okay, cool. I know sometimes some people be off that stuff, but yeah, I'm a radio host of Firewalker Radio. We go live on 97.3 FM. We go live. This is Pacific time, 3 to 5 p.m. every Friday.
Okay.
Alongside with my dog, Biggie Cosmic. So tune in and we.
That's dope. Salutes to you, man. Salutes to you.
Appreciate it.
So what made you? I want to touch in on that a little bit. What made you go into the hosting?
It's kind of crazy, how we got it, honestly, because I didn't really walk into a radio to want to do a radio show. I just wanted to build a brand with radios in the city where I'm at, and then we went to 3 radio spots. The first one we went to was closed. It was me and my boy Benny Cosmic, and the second one was the college radio, and they was like, "Yeah, we remember you guys from a year ago," and I'm like, "So what does that mean?" So they wasn't rocking with us. But they remember us, so I was kind of like tripping. And then Benny, yo, I know a spot, and we get to the 3rd spot and everything, and then they was like, "Hey, how can we help you guys?" We was like, "Actually, we can help you." He knew, and it's crazy because we both had a mutual friend that we knew. I knew his son, and Benny knew his mom, and then she was having a story, like a story time thing for like children and everything, and the voices didn't show up. The actors didn't show up, and she was like, "I need 2 actors," and Will's like, "We'll do it." And then
All right.
I had my laptop on me too, and she was like, "I just need a beat." I was like, "I got my laptop right here. Do you want me to make one or pull up one right quick? I could do either or. Just let me know how much time you need." She was like,
Okay.
"Need a beat right now." I was like, "All right, cool." So plugged in the beat, and then it was like, "Well, you guys did that pretty fast." And they was like, "Was you guys prepared for it?" I was like, "No." We just walked into it, and then it was like, "If you guys want, you guys can host your own radio show." And we've been hosting the radio show now for about a year and 3 months now.
Oh, congratulations. Congratulations.
Sweet. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Congratulations, man. A year and 3 months.
Yes, sir.
That's an interesting story. So you had to prove yourself right then and there.
Right then and
You had to make it happen. You had to make it happen.
Right. And it was crazy because like when we walked out, when we got done, we was like, "Yo, we got a radio show off of that?" Because like all we wanted was just to have somewhere to go play our music. That was it. We didn't go in with the intention of like, "Hey, let's look for a radio show." We just walked in,
exactly.
And I was like, "Wow, it's crazy what you do when you just take a leap of faith," you know?
That's an amazing story right there, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
See, the important part about that though, that people should realize is that you was prepared for that.
Right.
You was prepared for that moment. So that's why you was able to, grasp it within that moment.
Right.
So,
that's why I always tell myself, well, like, I don't leave the house unless I got a desktop and a laptop, but I always leave the house. I make sure to carry my laptop on me at all times, flash drive, and beats on my phone, so that way I'm ready.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're going to get right into it. And for the viewers, where you come from in your upbringing.
I'm from Columbus, Georgia. I was born and raised in Columbus, Georgia, and then when I was like 10, 11 years old, I moved to Atlanta. And it was wild, though. Like, it's crazy seeing Atlanta being, like, the powerhouse that it is now. Because, like, I seen it when it was building, And it's like everybody, except when you lived in Atlanta, you kind of was like, oh, this is just a regular degular. But now seeing when you, like, moving away from Atlanta all across the country, it's like, wow. Like, it's something else.
Yeah, Atlanta's definitely the powerhouse right now, man. Right. So I mean, since you basically resided in Atlanta, who did you listen to growing up?
I listened to a lot of artists, like musically, for real. I was big on I listened to Diplo, believe it or not. Wu-Tang, I was big on Wu-Tang a lot. Gucci. Who else I listened to? Flocka, Lil B, Soulja Boy, Wiz, Currency.
Of course.
Like those, and 3 6 too. Like, I listened to 3 6 nonstop.
Yeah. I want to touch in a little bit more about the patterns and the sounds that you went with for your project too. But we're gonna bring that up a little later because I seen you went kind of West Coast too.
Yeah,
you have a
little bit of everything.
Yeah, I see that versatility.
Thank you, man.
So go ahead.
No, you good. I'm good. You good.
All right. So when did you realize your interest in creating music?
Oh, that's a great question. Honestly, I think I realized it you remember iPods? When iPods used to be a thing back in the day?
Of course.
I used to juice up everybody's iPods because I had the best music across the county. So in that point, in 7th grade, I made like $300 in a week off of getting people's iPods.
Entrepreneur.
Yeah, so I just knew I was going to do something in music. And
that's dope.
It was crazy though because everybody around me rapped and it was only like one dude that made beats. So I was like, let me kind of figure out how to do beats a little bit. And I just taught myself how to do it. But when I became 16, I fell on my computer just randomly. And I was like, I'm going to start making beats. And then I skipped school for like 3 days, and I started making it the whole time. I'm not encouraging people to skip school and everything, but
Yeah, kids, we're not encouraging y'all to skip school, but I mean, you gotta be dedicated for what you want.
that's true.
And I wanna touch in a little more about that too, about basically what you just broke down as far as the dedication.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna touch on that a little later. I wanted to ask, one second. I wanted to ask, basically, how did you come up with the name Cruzer?
It was funny. Because Cruzer is actually short. A lot of people don't know this, like, because Cruz is actually short for Crusader. And
Crusader.
yeah, so
The Toyota?
Batman.
Okay.
Batman and K Crusader. And so
Oh,
a lot
yeah,
of the homies,
K Crusader.
yeah, so a lot of the homies, they'll like still to this day, they be like, hey, Zader. So it's funny. And then I just roll with that. And then I just going by Cruz. And I think high school, it was my track coach. He was like, hey, Cruzer. But I don't know who started the name Cruzer though. Like I just rode with it. And then I had this some teammates was like, it was like a group of people that rock with me. They was like, hey, look at all the cruisers over there. They were saying basically fans of Cruz. And I just rolled with it. I was like, hey, that's fucking dope. So I was like, Cruzer. I started rolling with it. And then like
that's dope. That's natural. That was organic. It just happened.
It just happened.
But I didn't think about the K Crusader. Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah,
that's dope.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I watch a lot of like comic books and everything, and like I get a lot of my ideas from like reading comic books and just nonstop, just trying to figure out how to do certain things. So I just like read comic books or listen to comic books from audiobooks and everything, and just go out and apply it from there.
That was your inspiration.
Yeah, most definitely.
Basically. Mm-hmm. That's dope. So what kind of comic books you was looking into, by the way?
I'm super big into Marvel. My favorite comic book all the time is Ultimate Spider-Man. That's my favorite one.
Okay.
And I love DC though too, because I love DC comic books more because they actually show a darker side to it than what the media TV outlets portray DC as. But I just love the darker versions of DC, like the Batman and like the Joker comic books, Vigilante. So I'm big into comic books. So like I'll just sit there and just pull up stuff and just listen to it all day. And just when I get beats idea, I get beats from just listening to comic books. So
that's dope.
Thank you. I appreciate that, man.
No problem. You gotta touch bases.
Got to.
So let the people know. All right. So you told them you skipped school three days?
Mm-hmm. 3 days in a row.
3 days.
And I would have kept it a week too, but the school called my mom.
All right, yeah. So Mama wasn't playing that.
Yeah.
Mama wasn't playing that, man. So touch more onto like what was the beginning process like? Like, you know how you broke it down, like what started happening after that?
When I started making beats, and I feel like I had a 1 in a trillion shot of when I started my career, because when I started making beats, I sold my first beat for $70 in 2 months. That never happens. And not to mention, I'm 16, so it's like you're not thinking, you don't got bills like that for real. So like $70 is kind of like $500 when you ain't got to pay bills, especially when you're a teenager. So when you're a teenager. So I was like, man, if this how it is, I could really start figuring it out. But
make it into something.
Yeah, I could definitely. And then I was like, I just want to really get good at it. So 4 months into it, the summer hits. And I was like, bet, this is perfect. So high school summer, especially in Atlanta, there's so much going on.
Yeah, so much going on.
All I did, I wake up, I make beats every day. And my brother Oppo, he'll tell you like, I'll wake up at like 8 a.m. making beats, and I won't go to sleep till like 3:30 in the morning. And I'll be up making beats all day. Like I told myself, I was like, On a bad day, I make like 10 beats. So,
on a bad day.
on a bad
On a
day,
bad day.
too.
So like, can you say like the rap like a rapper like Gucci Mane, like his hustle, like his hustle is like something that you know inquired with your work ethic, because you know how he can release project after project after project. You say you look up to Gucci, right?
Yeah, it's most definitely Gucci. Like, I looked up to Gucci more so about the way he carried himself, honestly, like on a music standpoint. Not so like the releases too definitely made an impact on it, because to me it's like a lot of people can't do longevity and quality. They have like a small run of just quality music and then they flame out, compared to Gucci, where like I think he's the only artist ever that went to jail, went to prison, and still dropped a lot of music while he was in his whole run. So I feel like Gucci's prison, while him in prison, his run was better than when he was out, which is crazy to think. And
That's true.
I kind of follow that mentality. It was like, okay, whatever happens, you know what I mean? I need to carry this legacy to where like I could have, if I don't do beats for like 10 years, you're not going to know it.
You have it stored.
Yeah, and then it's like, I just feel like with me personally, like I love what I do, so it never felt tedious either. And I get excited when I want to go home and create beats. And it's crazy. It's like the more I got into my career, the much love and appreciation I got for it.
Okay, that's dope. That's dope. Also, I wanted you to tell the people. You said you sold your first beat for $70. How did that come about?
It was crazy because it was a dude. I think he was a senior. Yeah, he was a senior, and he was rapping. And like, I remember he moved, but it was cool. He moved to Florida, and he was like, "Yo, man, I'm still rocking with you, bro. Like, you had some dope sounds at the time. Send me something." And I'm like, "Bro, like, I ain't where I want to be at." And then he was like, "Look, bro, I got 100." I was like, "All right." So I just sent him like 5 beats, and he was like, "Man, I'm rocking with the beats." The beat was called Shots. I just remember that beat. And I was like, he was like, "How much you want for it?" I was like, "Bro, I'll take 70." And then he gave me the 70.
Oh, you just do it out there, just random. First thing that came to your mind.
Yeah, I was just like, man, I just need 70. I was like, I just want to be able to say I sold it, so I sold it for 70.
Okay, yeah, you didn't want to ask for too much.
Yeah, I was like, nah, not the first beat that you ever sold. And I was like, I'm not gonna really do anything. I'm gonna save it, put it up, but like I ain't about to do nothing crazy with it. So I was like, 70 is cool.
That's dope. You know what a lot of people would miss though? You also acknowledged that he had $100. So you didn't go for the whole 100. You said 70. I take 70. Like, people got to think, like, don't be too greedy, you know?
Right.
In order to make things happen sometimes.
Right. That part. And I feel like greed is really why I haven't, like, what I've noticed from like a lot of people in music. Like, greed is really like eats so many people up, and people will reach for more than what they bargained for. Not to mention, like, yo, like, if someone, like, I look at it more like build a strong foundation compared to just getting some quick money. Because if you got quick money, you gonna build a bridge that could lead you to a fountain. So
exactly. That's true. But you have to put in the work, like, and also be humble at the same. Like, you know what? You gotta be cocky, but you gotta be somewhat humble still.
Right.
Like, it's a thin line that people just can't, seem to balance.
Very thin line.
So that's what.
Like.
So
Definitely, man. It's definitely a thin line, and like, I think the thing with I always tell people this, like, if you think I'm cocky, listen to my music and then come talk to me, and then see what I've done.
They don't understand the amount of time, the work ethics, the thought process. There's a lot going on when you producing, and creating. Like, some people won't understand it. They won't understand it.
That's the truth right there, man. Most definitely. So it's like, it's funny. Like, I'm cool when people call me stuff, because it's like, you call me what you want. That just shows that you acknowledge me. That's my. So that's how I treat it.
Definitely. So, how did your project Cruzer 64 come about?
It's crazy because I worked. It took 11 months for like to me to work on it, but it was crazy because like I was I was on the coast. No, yeah, I was on the coast at the time, and I was on the coast for like 3 days, and I was like, I need to come up with a dope project, and I had the name. I had kind of had an idea of what I wanted the story to be about because one thing about me, video game has played like a huge part in my career because like that's where I get a lot of my ideas from. When I'm playing the game, I'll just have comic books playing the game. I play the game for hours on end because to me, video games. To me, like you hear the best things on video games because you hear all the sounds, like everything individually. At least I do. So I wanted to do something that was more symbolic. And to me, I mean, you could debate with any video game head, PS2, Xbox, whatever. But like Nintendo 64 was like the one video game console that kind of like shifted video gaming to like a worldwide thing. Because you had Sega, which was US based, and you had Atari, which was overseas and everything, but you never had like a whole global like a video game icon in the 90s. So when Nintendo 64 came out, it launched a stamp because you had 16-bit cartridges and everything, and it changed up how video games played out moving forward. So I told myself, I was like, I need to stamp myself as a producer with a project, but I need to have a story with it too. And so with 64, I was like, all right, this is who I am. And it's funny because like on my Android phone, I got GoldenEye. And I remember as a kid, with my brothers, we used to always play GoldenEye all the time, Diddy Kong Racing. So I was like, this is what I'm going to do. Like, I'm going to build a project based off of the Nintendo 64 with a story behind it and change up the game. And when the project name, too, is just like Cruzer 64, I stumbled upon it because I didn't know what I was going to call it for, like, the first, like, prior to the 11 months me actually putting the time into it. I sat on it, like, another 3 months prior before I went to the coast because I was like, because it was two names I was going to call it. It was before Cruzer 64. But it just the other two names, one of them kind of was like, you can do it like that. And then the other one was Cruise Control, the sequel too. But I was like, nah, I don't want to really do. I'm not really big on quote unquote sequels per se, but like depending on what it is, I'll do it. Yeah. And then I was like, the 64, boom. Like it just, and that's a cool number. And because I was like, it's going to be something with a number involved. And like, I just wanted something with a story that means a lot to me. So that way people can grab an idea with it and see the journey behind it too. So, yeah, it was a process though. And it's crazy before because the original, what came out now, it was totally different from the vision I had originally, if that makes sense. So. But I'm grateful for the turnout, though.
That was creative. That was very creative. That was great. Because when you hear Cruzer 64, that's the first thing that's coming to mind, Nintendo 64.
Right.
For me, per se. I can't speak for everybody, but per se, when I hear Cruzer 64, that's the first thing that came to mind. But then also your art cover, I think I seen the controller. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, like, which is all creativity. And also, people won't understand that you took 11 months to make the entire project. Mm-hmm. 11 months. That's dedicated almost a year right there.
Almost a year. And, like, it's crazy because, oh, sorry. Oh, you about to say?
No. Go ahead. Yeah.
Gotcha. No, it's crazy because, like, I was talking to one of my homegirls about this. And she was telling me, like, you know, like, I don't, like, you did something that was, like, done in, like, the 90s and 2000s where people would take months on end to really sit on a project because dudes will probably drop in 11 months, dudes, like you could have a whole career and fizzle out in 6 months. You know,
Yeah.
and it's crazy. And we've seen a lot of artists, producers too, have fallen out like that. So it's like the fact she was like, you did took 11 months and did a project, and you're actually able to run with it well, and that's really impressive because that's what they used to do in like the 2000s, and like after 2013, it kind of just seemed like you got to put something out with a project video, and a single all out in like the same week, and it's
the whole package.
Yeah, and it's like
The whole
package. I just thought about it too, and I'm like, I'm a producer, so it's like
it's not like
I just think that if you have good work,
I think I've seen producers do that, like Southside and G Herbo.
Mm-hmm.
They did something like that because it was, I think, Southside's project. It's collaborated.
Yeah,
but they did the rollout though.
I know exactly what you're talking about. That project hard too. Like,
yeah. That was the last project they did together.
Yeah, definitely hits too. And like, I don't know. I just think that like when it comes to like projects though, it's like I feel like, and then it was crazy because like a lot of people who like checked out the Cruzer 64. I remember my mom checked it out. She was saying like you actually put together a great body of work, and my mom was like, "This is definitely like by far your best project yet." I'm like, "Ooh, thanks, Mom. That meant a lot." And I'm just glad that like like that's how I like to do it. Like I like to have every project I release be my best one, so that way I can keep it going. You know.
Definitely. I wanted to like know also because you have like a lot of features on your project.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder, did that play the part with the 11-month process? Because I know you have to get all these guys on time, and
half and half. What's crazy was some of the songs on the project weren't supposed to go on there because the original, there was 5 songs that like from the original way, because the way I initially planned it, Cruzer 64 was only supposed to be 11 songs in total. Well, no, it's supposed to be 13, but like it was supposed to be 11, like 2 beats and then like 11 songs. So, and what's crazy was I was supposed to have some bigger name artists on the project, but clearance issues.
Talk about it, man. What happened?
Is wild. Like, I ain't gonna say the label's name, but one of the labels try to like release it through them and like take the earnings off of it because I had a certain artist on their name. Another label wanted to like release the date from it, and the date has so much significance to me too, because, and that was another thing too, because had if not COVID messed up the 2020, well, I think, and it worked out in my favor, honestly, because I initially wanted to release Cruzer 64 in prior in December. I said I'm gonna release it in June, and that's what I initially said. But when COVID happened, it worked out in my favor because I was trying to get 3 songs on there. I got 3 of the songs pretty quick, but something else happened with another artist, and it was supposed to be a big song, supposed to have like a 5-song. It was supposed to be a song with 5 artists on the track. And never got the song, and I was really wanting the song because it was halfway done. I forgot who it was, and it was just a lot of stuff that happened. And some artists were supposed to make the cut too, but the 11 months really though, like it was like a 3-month delay because of COVID, and then the label disputes that I was having, and labels trying to take my record. And it's funny about the drop date too. Well, I dropped it in 9/5 because you know the moniker like 9 to 5, right?
Yeah.
Label executive was like, "Oh, you're just a 9 to," like he wanted me to sign. I said no, like politely declined it because I always tell myself, if you offer me a deal, you don't know exactly who I am, but you heard my music, you're really you're shorting my potential. And I feel like that's unfair because you didn't check out the history. You ain't seen a lot of videos.
Didn't look into you at all, no research.
Right. You just heard
it. To sign you off the sound that they just heard.
Right. So I was like, nah. And the dude was like, oh, you're going to be stuck in your 9-to-5 job. I was like, huh? And he said it again. And then, like, he clicked on me. I was like,
Oh.
5. That actually works in the loop, too, because it was May. And that's when I was like, bet, I got the date and everything now, too. So I'm good. And so that worked out for me. And what's crazy is like how every weird situation leads me. I just make an opportunity out of it. So I just go.
That was a major label?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
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 Yeah, it's crazy. Wow. Like it's crazy how like when you're independent, like some of these labels try to like talk down, and it's like, yo, this ain't 2004, bro. I'm good.
You trying to take advantage.
Mm-hmm.